Joining us now is Kachi Ofia with stories trending around the world. Hello, Kachi. Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Abati. Good morning, Tundun.
Good morning.
Viewers. Let us take a look at the stories trending around the globe. Now, this is a serious conversation. Female genital mutilation or circumcision. It is an issue, a big issue, especially in Africa, and Nigeria very inclusive. Now, the United Nations noted that more than 200 million girls and women live with the consequences of female genital mutilation, while at least 4 million girls are at risk of undergoing this practice every single year. In 2015, world leaders agreed and pushed for the elimination of female genital mutilation as one of the targets in the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Now, UNICEF also noted that it was an achievable goal, urging that all must act to translate this political commitment into action. The United Nations has also set the 6th of February of every year as the International Day of Zero Tolerance for female genital mutilation to raise awareness on the negative impact of this very traditional practice, with this year's theme being noted as accelerating investment to end female genital mutilation. Now, I strongly believe that one of the things that the morning show pushes forward is actions, not just talking about the same conversation every other day. It's okay, we've had this conversation, we've asked the questions about it, we've listened to policy speakers speak about this issue, so how can we actually start doing something about this? I think at this rate, we are going to come up with a theme every other year, and we're also going to come up with a number of young girls and women affected by this. It just has to become illegal. There just needs to be a policy, there just needs to be a law criminalizing genital mutilation at this point in time, because that's the only way I strongly see people adhering to this, because clearly talking is just not enough anymore.
No, it's really not. But there is a law, the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act, that was passed in 2015 by former President Goodluck Jonathan. But so far, only 18 states have, domiciled that law, and all 36 should be encouraged to do so. It's such a disgrace that this is a conversation that we're still having in Nigeria, that women are mutilated in this way.
Yeah.
And it's just one of many harmful traditional practices that must be abolished. And it will. One day, this will be over. There was a time in this country, a long time ago, where, we were killing twins in Nigeria. We thought twins were evil. But today, that's unthinkable. So one fine day, we will finally arrive at the point where we abolish female genital mutilation. And because what are the reasons? All these baseless, unscientific claims that it prevents infant death and that it stops women from being promiscuous. It just ties into just the misogyny, the hatred of women, and the number of girls who die, even those who are lucky to survive the agony of it. We should definitely encourage all the states to really adopt the VAPP Act that we have in this country that actually addresses this and actually take action against this evil in this society.
Well, one, what we're dealing with here is also a case of discrimination against women and girls, or if you like, the female gender. And Nigeria being one of the signatories to the Convention of the Elimination of Discrimination Against Women, CEDAW, and aspects of that convention having been domesticated in Nigeria in the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act, and also in the Child Rights Act that about 13 states have refused to endorse, has a responsibility, therefore, to make sure that this harmful cultural and traditional practice is discouraged. Now, usually they do it to infants, and they target girls. That's why it's called female genital mutilation. Again, it's about prejudice. Nobody does anything to reduce the testosterone or hormone of the male child, but they want to control, how the female child responds to sexual stimulant later in life. So they cut off the clitoris to prevent her from becoming promiscuous, or they do something to the labia majora, or some other things. And usually this is done by traditional birth attendants who may use scissors, blade, or even use, in some cases, broken bottles. And this has resulted in a lot of complications. Apart from, taking a decision about the sexual life of the individual, they also inflict pain. Infections have also been reported. Complications affecting the kidney and other organs within the body have also been reported. It's not just a Nigerian phenomenon. In about 28 African countries, you have this menace of female genital mutilation. I think, one, there should be sanctions because it's an act of violence against the female person. That's one. Two, I think that a lot more also needs to be done with regard to public education, public enlightenment. There have been cases, reports of women, who got married later in life, and because they've been violated earlier in life, they have issues in their marriage because, whatever it is that is important in that process has been, removed by ignorant, parents and adults who think that they are protecting the culture. But I think with more education, within the society, I don't imagine that our generation or your generation will go and engage in female genital mutilation. So it's something dealing with ignorance and illiteracy. So that's why we need to educate more people and also make sure that that problem is addressed.
All right, real quick, let's take a look at this video where the state of a pure water factory has triggered major concern on social media. It's a really quick one. This video was shared and it just captured how pure water, as we know, the one that's sold for 5 naira, 10 naira, 20 naira, is packaged, and we're yet to identify this pure water company, but it just shows how unsanitary the situation is.
Hello, that's most unfortunate, Kachi, and it's the responsibility of NAFDAC. NAFDAC is the agency responsible for Food Drug Administration Control. So this must be a failure, of supervisory control, I guess, on the part of NAFDAC. Another body that is involved is Consumer Protection Council. Since Irukera took over the Consumer Protection Council, we've seen some dynamism around that, but maybe even the CPC is overwhelmed in many regards. And then there's also the Standards Organization of Nigeria. Too many people in this country producing things that are consumed by people with implications for public health. But this is a sad story, but it's not an isolated story. It's pure sachet water, or what they call pure water in this case. Some other, food items are also, affected. But thank you very much, Kachi. We need to move on to another urgent business. You will see in a moment.
Yes.
Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow.